Let's finish the show with the gimmicks of the week. This is when we talk about the stuff that didn't deserve a full 5-minute segment of discussion here, just little blips on the radar, but they mattered enough to give them their own gimmick. And we're starting off with the social superstar of the week. This is a title that has been won by Drew McIntyre over and over and over again, but yet this week it's our man Sheamus. Bob, what does Sheamus do?
Well, Sheamus battled Gunther on Raw. And so he went on Twitter and before the match, just promoting the match, decided to compare the ring general to Hitler. Of all people, he said, an Austrian guy with a funny haircut has a thing for military-style coats, proclaims superiority over others, hangs out with Germans, and betrays his Italian ally. Jesus. The backlash to that tweet when it was like instant and he deleted it. I found it funny. I thought it was a funny joke, but I understand why people are offended. Hitler's a weird thing to bring up. And Gunther responded, "What the fuck?" before the tweet was deleted as well.
I didn't see the response. Yeah. Hey, Sheamus, you tried, man. Like, there's no shame in trying. And surprisingly, it wasn't the biggest, the most dominant, most watched Hitler reference of the week. That goes to Tom Segura and Burt Kreischer during the Tom Brady roast when they compared Tom Brady to Hitler. Let's stop. Let's just leave Hitler out of it. Let's just not bring him up or reference him. He's the worst human being to ever live. No one should be comparing him. Although Sheamus, I get it. It made sense. The Italian ally line did make me pop. Let's just leave it on the back burner next time. Not all thoughts need to be said. Exactly. A new gimmick. The Maharaja moment of the week. Thank you, Jinder Mahal, for all you did to WWE. He's actually a great follow on TikTok. If you want to watch some inspirational, like workout, dieting stuff, he's doing great on TikTok. I want to throw that out there. But this gimmick is for this is the stuff that most wrestling fans are not a fan of, yet maybe I or Bob secretly, ashamedly, are a fan of this, and I'm actually rooting for this, and this is my gimmick this week. The Maharaja moment of the week. It's the learning tree in Chris Jericho. And I cannot believe I'm saying this. But Jericho came out. We'll talk about his opponents in a second. But Jericho came out, and the promo he gave afterward, he's thanking Calgary. Oh, no, sorry, Edmonton. Very funny pop. He comes out and saying, I should be on all 2 hours of Dynamite, and gives a point and smile to the camera like he's Buddy Jesus, just like he's playing into the shtick that no one in the world wants to see him on their television screen. And I am eating it up. I am actually enjoying it. I am a fan of the learning tree, Bob. Someone save me. Save me.
I'll give him credit. That his promo last night was good. The trunks, him wrestling in trunks at this age. It's just that, I mean, he's doing it on purpose, right? Like, that's why it's funny. Like, because he looks he looks just obnoxious when you turn that channel on and see Jericho in trunks, and they don't fit him
like
right.
A gold Band-Aid on his ribs.
He looks like he's 90 in the trunks. He looks so much older in the trunks. Like, but yeah, I will agree. Like, I hated it at first, and but now at least he's self-aware. At least he that about him. I'll give him that he knows that he's made himself look like a moron for a while.
Let's stick with the learning tree for a second, because the jobbers of the week, Bob, do you remember their names?
Yeah, I just pulled it up while you were talking because I knew you were going to say it's Mo Jabari and Harlan Abbott. They're making
those were the opponents of Jericho and Big Bill.
They did not even look like professional wrestlers. They look ridiculous. I will say that if you like shtick and comedy and you can just have fun with wrestling, you can enjoy the learning tree for what it is. And I agree. Yeah. It is funny.
Bob, I think that should be our goal as a show, not to get listeners or subscribers. I think we should get big enough that someday when they're back at the TD Bank North Garden, you and me are the jobbers of the week, and we're facing the new AEW and WWE tag team, and one of us just gets demolished like Steve-O did back in the day when Jackass was in the ring. That's our goal. I start thinking of our tag team name. Let's move on now to the big show turn of the week that is also from AEW. It is Serena Deeb, who came out, debuted as a heel against Toni Storm, the champion, and we thought it was going to be Toni Storm, the good guy, versus Serena Deeb, the returning veteran wrestler, the heel of the group, and then came out and delivered a promo this week where she said immediately, "Hey, Canada, happy to be here." That's not a heel move. And then she said, "I love Toni Storm. I love everything about her." That's not a heel move. Didn't have a turn at the end of that sentence. And then started talking about a very real medical scare that she had in her past and how much she has fought back to climb to the top here. And then Toni Storm came out and tried to attack Serena Deeb, and Serena Deeb defended herself. Serena Deeb is now the good guy in this fight. Toni Storm is now the bad guy in this fight. And I got to say, nothing against Serena Deeb. I think she's a great worker. At this point in her career, she should be nowhere near the title picture. And at this point in the career, I don't think we could care whether she's a heel or a babyface here. She's been a heel for so long, and now she's turning babyface again. Very sorry about the real medical history that she had, and I'm happy she fought back to have a career in this industry, and I want to see her succeed, but this is not the spot for me. Big Show turn of the week, I did not care. Do we have another gimmick this week? Am I missing any of them? I believe that's all of them. Oh, no. How could I forget the second new gimmick? The one, I saved this to the end for a reason, because it is super important, folks. Every time you see a match on any card whatsoever, people are clamoring that this is the match of the year, and so we're debuting the match of the year of the week. Bob, what was the match of the year of the week?
Well, this week's match of the year of the week was Ilja Dragunov versus Ricochet on Raw. It could have gone to Sheamus and Gunther, but I just think Dragunov and Ricochet put forth a 10-minute banger of a match. Go back and watch it if you haven't. It just kicked ass. And if you want to see the differences between France and the United States, watch that match. The crowd was dead quiet during Ricochet versus Dragunov. It pissed me off to no end. But they get this week's match of the year, of the week, of the month, of the day, whatever the hell we're calling it. They got it.
Congrats to them. I'm sure they'll wear that trophy with pride. Let's move on to the headlines of the week. This is how we end every show, where we tell you what the world of wrestling will be talking about a week from today. Bob does WWE. I do AEW. Let's start off with Robert Lentini. Let's see if his headline is actually a headline and not the whole article.
Well, we've talked about it. I just said it, basically. WWE should do as many international shows as possible moving forward. That's the headline. That should be the strategy. Hey, wherever these premium live events, so we don't have a venue booked, let's go overseas. Go to look at these crowds, look at the energy. Go everywhere you can, because the people want it. Fans want it around the world. Do it. It works.
Except Saudi Arabia, but no offense. My headline for AEW, and this is not going to be a headline. This is going to be a rant.
No.
On Dynamite, you started off Dynamite. Orange Cassidy beat up Trent. He pinned him after throwing him into a turnbuckle. And then after the match, Trent beat up Orange Cassidy. And it was impactful. Trent was angry. Trent's a bad guy. Suplexes him on the chairs. Next match, we have Mariah May beats Harley Cameron, whatever her name is. And then after the match, Paige comes in, beats up the winner, Mariah May. How dare she? A little less impactful. The next match we see, every single fucking match we saw, the champion who won the match ended up getting beaten up after the bell by either the bad guy or a debuting bad guy, and had to come in and get saved all the way to the fucking end when Brody King takes a spear through a table to the outside, gets back in the ring, takes another spear. 1, 2, 3, we pin this dominant giant of a man. And then what happens 2 seconds later? No sell of the spears, no sell of the finish, and we beat up Edge for Kyle O'Reilly to save it. My headline of the week is whoever is booking this fucking bullshit. This is what we used to complain about with WWE. It's okay to have a couple of different finishes on the card. When you do the same thing over and over again in a 2-hour span, it becomes less and less impactful every time you do it. Again, I dare you to go back and look at the match notes of Dynamite and tell me a segment that didn't end with someone getting beaten up from behind after the festivities have ended. It pissed me off to no end. That's my headline, is AEW figure it the fuck out. And that's it for the show. And thank you for watching. But before we leave, Bob, let's check in for this week in Ryback.